bitch. That dude. Oh, and if I can find the pictures, there's a lot of pictures of Myron Gaines in bed with a dude, shirtless. And there's another picture of the same dude shaving him, which is really weird. Why would you let another dude shave you if it's not like a barber or something? But yeah, maybe next podcast, if I don't bring it up, remind me. I'll find the pictures of Myron in bed with a dude. I went to the guy's Instagram that had that posted, and I screen capped a couple of things, and he ended up taking them down. But yeah, there's pictures of Myron Gaines in bed with some white dude. That white dude that's even taller than he is. Myron's like, what, 6'4" or something? This dude just height mogs the shit out of him. And he's in bed. They're both shirtless. Now, I mean, if you're like on spring break or something, you're on vacation, you're sharing a hotel room, I kind of get it. But this just looked a bit sus, if you know what I'm saying. My girl can cook, disassemble, and reassemble an AR blindfolded, and she knows where the bodies are buried. Yeah, good shit. Fed and Frog. Yeah, exactly. Fed and Frog. That's what they are. Myron from Fresh and Fit dressed like a dork when he had Tate and that porn star. Yeah. It's always about the messenger. Has anyone played the telephone? Yeah, man, I can't stand when people, you know the guys who say it's not about the messenger, it's about the message. Those are the guys who are fucking clueless. Those are the guys who can't get laid, who don't know anything about anything. And they look at these frauds. They look at Rollo and Rich Cooper and all these frauds like surrogate fathers. And that's why they get so pissed off when you make fun of them. They're just like the people on the left. And they're just like the people who get mad when you criticize Trump. Like, these are all legit criticisms. Donovan Sharp is a fraud. There's no denying that. I mean, he's got an arrest record, writing bad checks twice, one time for identity theft. And I heard his explanation for the identity theft, and I don't buy it one bit. And I'll tell you why. Because I talked to a former assistant DA from my city who rides with one of the veterans groups that I ride with. And now Donovan's explanation of why he got charged with identity theft was he moved out on his roommate, and his roommate got pissed and like signed his name to some paperwork and then blamed it on Donovan. Well, when I asked the guy who's a former assistant DA, I was like, hey, if you're going to arrest somebody for identity theft, what kind of evidence do you need to have? Can you just do it off of hearsay or what? And he goes, no, you can't. You have to have evidence. You have to have solid evidence to arrest somebody for identity theft. So Donovan Sharp, again, lying, claiming, it was all just a mistake. Like, no, dude, you don't get arrested for identity theft by mistake. That's ridiculous, especially when you have a history of writing bad checks. So the dude has a history of ripping people off, and for some reason, people still listen to him. There's people, he's probably streaming right now, and there's probably a ton of people watching him. That's how sad some dudes are. Like I said, I don't take advice from anybody unless they're on my level or above me. I mean, I'll listen to somebody just to get a feel of them and see what they know. But like, I would say that on any day, like, I can pull sevens with little to no effort. Now, I know what the incel kids just heard me say was that a 7 is the best I can do. No, incel kids, that's not what I said. What I said was I can pull 7s with little to no effort. So why would I listen to a guy who can't even get a 6? What's he going to tell me that I don't already know? Nothing. It's a waste of time. But the reason these guys get an audience is because the guys that listen to them, they can't get a 6, they can't get a 5, they can't get anything. So any guy that can get any girl is above them. And that's why they listen to them. It's ridiculous. Need their money so they can keep pulling low tier booty. Yes. Oh, he went to the moor for that body. Oh man, all these fools just 7 panitas away from Jack Murphy. Oh, Jack Murphy, yeah. I never even heard of that guy until all the fraud stuff broke. Like, I kind of remember seeing him on Tim Pool every now and then, but I don't really watch Tim Pool. I would just, like, I'm subbed to him and I would see it in the thumbnails as I scroll through. But I had no idea who he was until that whole cuck story broke. Myron Gaines. Emphasis on the gay. Do you think it says don't party with me and the boys? I can't even remember what I said. Oh, you talking about sleeping with dudes. Hey, I had to spoon with dudes in Iraq, but that was during the invasion. We had to spoon to keep warm. We were out in the middle of the desert. Even rappers are being outed for sus activity. What got? Yep. Fresh and Fit always shut down astrology like it's not real at all. Well, I mean, astrology is not real. It's ridiculous. And a lot of the Manosphere is just astrology for men. Like, if you think the month that you were born in somehow determines your personality, I don't know what to tell you. I've dated girls who were into that shit before. Like, ooh, you're a Taurus. I'm compatible with a Taurus. I'm like, I just want to smash. I don't care when you were born. Like, oh, your birthday's not for 8 months. I don't even plan on seeing you in 8 months. I just want to hit it for a couple weeks until I find something better and then move on. Those girls are nuts. They forgot the birthdays. Yep. Most of the subs are from single mother house. Oh, I guarantee you, at least 75% of the people who know that these guys are frauds but continue to follow them anyway were raised by single mothers, because they have bad taste in men, just like their single mothers had bad taste in men. Word on the streets is the PUA are changing their opinion on men going out of the country to seek females because now the PUA are losing money. Yeah, probably. I mean, they'll say whatever they have to say to keep that gravy train going. Like I said, man, their subs are probably just nerdy, ugly dudes. Yeah. And I think just really desperate guys. Like, you know, Rich Cooper charges $33 a minute for advice that he's going to read to you straight out of the Rational Mail. Why would anybody pay that? $33 a minute. Dude, you can call me. I'll charge you $3 a minute, and I'll give you better advice in 10 minutes than that dude will in 6 hours. I guarantee you. Because he knows nothing about women other than what he's read in books or what he's heard from videos or forums or whatever. I guarantee Rich Cooper never been with anything over a 6. None of those guys. None of those frauds have ever been with anything over a 6. They're all theory guys, which I find funny. Like, where's the theory come from? Like, so you think all this stuff is true, but you don't actually know because you don't know anything about women. Well, I don't care what a guy thinks about women. I care what a guy knows about women. I want to know what works. And that's why I know people hate on John Anthony Lifestyle, but I've watched a couple of his videos on game, and I can tell you everything he's ever talked about as far as game is concerned that I listen to, that I actually tried in real life, it works. That dude knows what he's talking about. And I watch him for the roast videos, but I watched a couple because I wanted to see what was up with him too. And I watched his game videos and I'm like, all right, this guy, yeah, he's legit. Like everything I've watched from him where I actually tried it in real life has worked. So like I said, hate on him all you want. The dude knows what's up. What else we got here? Oh, now the chat's just skipping. What the hell? With these people, how do you get repeat customers if the truth is build yourself, be confident, and don't put up with abuse? Yeah, exactly. They don't want guys to get better. It's just like the pharmaceutical industry. They don't want to cure you. They just want to they want you to keep coming back to YouTube every day, keep watching the videos, keep getting that red pill every day. Because I know when a lot of guys get out of relationships or a lot of guys get divorced and stuff, they will just fall down the red pill rabbit hole and just do nothing but watch videos and post on Reddit and all this stuff. And I've seen so much stupid stuff on red pill subreddits. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm an older dude. You want advice? Believe in yourself. Stand true to your beliefs. Do not bend and do not break your values or morals. Above all, believe in yourself. Yeah, exactly. You don't need these frauds to help you get women because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Here's the thing, man. I know a lot of guys, especially the under 30 crowd, like people who were born right around 1990 or later. You guys pretty much grew up with the internet. And a lot of, not saying everybody, but a lot of dudes grew up living vicariously through the internet. So they don't know how to talk to people in real life. And they think that talking to people online is the same thing as talking to people in real life. It's not. There's so many introverts that will go online and, talk all day or post blog stuff all day, but then in real life, they won't even go out and talk to people. So that's why I'm glad I was one of the last generations to have graduated high school before the internet was big and before cell phones were big. Because I know, like with my cousin that I've talked about, the one that's kind of a feminist, but she's just really dumb. I tell her, you grew up with cell phones. You have an iPhone in your pocket. Why do you not know how to use it? Just 5 minutes of research could be the difference between looking like a complete fucking moron and actually knowing what you're talking about. Just 5 minutes. Sometimes not even 5 minutes. It could be 2 minutes. And I know this is crazy, but see, you open up your internet, you go to your browser, whatever search engine you use, hopefully not Google. You form a question in your head, you type out that question, you hit enter, and answers pop up. It's crazy. You know, this internet thing is wild, man. It's going to be really big one day. Oh, how is it you grew up with the internet, but you don't know how to use it? How? And again, I'm not saying it's everybody under 30, but it's a lot of you guys. Survival spoon is not. Oh, what the heck? Why does this chat keep skipping? Where are we at? Battle buddies are not gay unless they make it gay. Otherwise, it's your, yeah. Make your battle buddy happy, huh? It ain't gay in the army. Nah. No, there's nothing wrong with spooning, but I mean, if you see the pictures of Myron, I'll get them. I don't know where the hell they are. Actually, I can take a look here in a minute. Let me read a little bit more in the chat. 33 a minute. That buys a high-class escort. Exactly. Like, dude, if you're that hard up for sex, just get a hooker. Talking to him for 10 minutes would be $330. You could probably go get an old-fashioned for like $25 from some hooker down the street. The John Anthony guy likes trans gentlemen. I don't know about that. I'm going to need to see proof of that. Understand them. Left. Oh, he admitted to it on stream? Yeah. Alright, that's weird. The goal is to cure men, don't OD on the red pill, live your life. Yeah, exactly. But that's the problem. A lot of guys like the red pill and the Manosphere, it becomes their life. It's like that's all they have. That's all they talk about. That's all they do is watch those videos. And, you know, that's why I want to start doing these streams just to let everybody know that's not the point of my channel. Like, I'll talk about red pill, Manosphere type stuff when I need to, but I don't want to get pigeonholed just to being, you know, another one of those red pill or another one of those Manosphere guys. It's not just healthy, it just breeds hate, MGTOW guys especially. Yeah, see, I found MGTOW years ago, and what I was under the impression was that MGTOW means no marriage, no cohabitation, and the rest is up to you. Nowadays, it's more like no marriage, no cohabitation, no women, period. Just, you know, get yourself a sex doll. And I'm not down with that at all. Like, that is not healthy. Now, if you're a little bit older and you've been with plenty of women and you're just done with all the mess and you just want to get a fleshlight or something like that, yeah, I get it. But if you're a younger guy, you need to get out there and, you know, got to get your meat wet. Got to dip your wick. But then the Manosphere frauds will tell you, no, work on yourself first. And again, what they mean by work on yourself is give us money and we'll tell you how to better yourself. Even though we don't actually know, but we're just going to repeat what we've heard other people say. That's all it is. But as far as the MGTOW stuff goes, yeah, when I first looked at MGTOW and I'm like, no marriage, no cohabitation, the rest is up to you. That's what I was under the impression that it meant. I was like, wow, I've been doing this since I joined the army. Like, since the first time I got home from Iraq, I've just been banging women and I kind of been in some long-term relationships and I've never cheated on any women. I've always been straight up. Like, when I meet them, I'll say, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. But the two semi-long-term relationships that I was in, even those were still open. But yeah, and I'm like, I've been doing this MGTOW stuff for years. It's nothing new to me. And that's another thing, man. A lot of guys wouldn't have anything if it weren't for the internet. They wouldn't know anything. They wouldn't have a community to talk to. Like, the internet could go away tomorrow and my life isn't going to change. Or the internet never could have been invented and I would still know all the same things that I know about women. None of these guys in the Fraudosphere or Manoswamp or whatever you want to call it, I've never learned anything from any of these guys. It was all stuff, see, because I'm good at pattern recognition. When I was a teenager, I had some of my female friends telling me, like, here's how you get girls. Not how to make friends. They taught me how to get girls. And I started noticing, like, they were the same ones that would tell me how to get girls, but then they would turn around and get pounded out by chads and then be like, oh, I don't know. I gave it up to him on the first date. I don't know why he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started noticing. I'm like, this is what... So I saw it from both sides. I saw guys who were players and I saw girls who were just giving it up to anybody. So I saw it from both ends and my brain started working, you know, because I'm actually capable of critical thought. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people have zero critical thinking skills. There's a lot of smooth brain people out there whose brains function at a very low level. and they can't add 2 plus 2. They can't put puzzles together. They can't figure out simple things. Like, gee, I keep going to the bar and hitting on girls and it's not working. Well, oh, it can't be me. It must be the women, because that's what Rolo tells me, that it's the women's fault and I need to work on myself before I worry about women. Like, shut up. That, like I said, man, that dude's been, he's been married for 25 years, maybe more. And his lay count wasn't even, I mean, he claimed his lay count was in the 40s or something like that, somewhere in the 40s, which that's not bad. I mean, that's way more than the average guy, but that was back then. Times have changed. This dude has no clue what's going on in modern times. Mixo is relatable, seems crybabyish. Yeah, well, the community's changed a lot over the years. The community's been infiltrated by incels. That's one of the big problems. Some come off as if women cannot be trusted at all, or they're just flat out no good. Yeah, exactly, man. Like, people who always are worried about, I don't want to get me too'd. Like, dude, don't put yourself in a situation to get me too'd. Like, can you not read people? Are you not capable of reading a girl and seeing, you know, like, maybe I shouldn't be hanging out with this girl. Like, maybe I shouldn't take this drunk girl home from the bar that I just met 20 minutes ago. You know, stuff like that. But again, it's these small brains, smooth brains that aren't capable of critical thought. That kind of, like, if your spider senses don't start going off when a girl starts throwing out red flags, then you deserve to get me too'd. If your brain functions at that low of a level that you can't figure out those simple things, like, man, this girl is giving a lot of red flags, but I really want to hit it. You know, she's drunk out of her mind, and she's on top of me. Yeah, whatever. Just desperate dudes. Why is all this stuff happening now? Like, what was back in the day like? What do you mean, what was back in the day like? As far as relationships, or like pre 9/11? Because that's a big difference, man. There was a huge difference in life before 9/11 and after 9/11. Because after 9/11, all the oh, you heading off, Dan? I'll see you, man. Salty. All right, see you guys later. Yeah, it is getting kind of late. Oh man, about 11:30. I'm gonna have to get going here in a minute. But as far as the 9/11 stuff goes, anybody out there that's a little older, you know that after 9/11, that's what brought in all the rise of the 24-hour news channels and the constant fear porn. And that's when they started using those tickers. So the news is talking about something, and then you have a ticker at the bottom telling you something else. It's all just designed to keep people afraid. That's it. Because I can tell you, I was there for the invasion of Iraq, and you know how Saddam kept those people under control? He kept them ignorant and afraid. They couldn't access any information from the outside world. They thought that every other country on the planet was out to get them. And it was all just because Saddam kept them that way. And that's what they're trying to do to us. They want us afraid constantly. They want us afraid because the government's the only group of people that can save us. No, we can't save ourselves. We need the government help. That's what they want us to think. Well, I worked for the government for 10 years and I can't stand it. All they do is ruin things. They waste money. Yeah, just look at any time the government's gotten involved with nature. Every time they've ruined things. Everything they do fails. But we just keep giving them more money. Ridiculous. The Army definitely teaches unhealthy relationships, at least in the combat arms side. Yeah, definitely. A lot of hookup culture. But I mean, that's the fault of a lot of the women, because I was stationed at Fort Campbell, and you could go right outside of post. There was 2 universities. On the Kentucky side, there was Western Kentucky, and then on the Tennessee side, there was Austin P. There was all kinds of girls just wanting to hook up, and there's all kinds of girls that are attracted to a guy in uniform, so it was too easy to get laid. I mean, we got back from Iraq, I think in March of 2004, and I was telling guys, like, if you've been here longer than 3 months and you're not getting laid, there's something wrong with you. Like, it's your problem. But guys didn't want to hear that. Work out, read books, live life. Women will come. Exactly. Just have some fun with it. Some dudes take it way too serious. Yeah, I mean, you have to put in effort. But that's another thing, man. A lot of these dudes don't want to put in effort. They're like the mirror image of feminists. They don't want to put in any effort, but they think, you know, I'm 350 pounds with a face full of zits. I deserve a 10. Like, no, you don't deserve a 10. You don't deserve anything. If you can't take care of yourself, then what the hell are you going to do in a relationship? That's why when I see fat people having kids, I'm like, what are you doing? You can't even take care of yourself. How are you going to have a kid? Nuts. More men will re-engage with femmes when the laws and the system don't punish them for basic interaction. Yeah, exactly. Man, in states like New York, isn't catcalling illegal? Or in New York City, they just keep making all these crazy laws. It's going to get to the point, like the Minority Report, the thought crimes. Like, did you think about interacting with that girl? Did you think about whistling at that girl? Doggall, born in 75. Okay, so you're a little bit older than me. You know what's up. When it comes to relationships, transparency is paramount. What you look for in a woman would, yeah. Yeah, because now I'm down for a long-term relationship. But when I was younger, especially being in the Army and never knowing when I might get shipped back to Iraq, and after seeing all the Dear John letters that guys were getting in Iraq, I didn't want to be in a relationship because I didn't want to have to deal with that headache. So I was just all about smashing and dashing. That was it. And I made that known. I never lied. That's one thing I could say I'm proud of. I was never a player. Like, I was never using women. I would tell them straight up, look, I'm in the Army. I might be back in Iraq in 3 months. I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to have fun. And that was it. And if they weren't down with it, oh well. Doggall definitely notices I got closer to 30. Yeah. Ought to ever see you guys, to anybody who left. Greed dudes got blind to the red flags, just trying to smash. Yeah, that's it, man. And that's guys who, they're not used to interacting with women. So the second, and here's another thing, and you veterans out there, you guys, especially since I think most of the veterans that follow me have been in combat MOSs, and they've been at, large posts like Fort Campbell, or if you were a Marine, maybe you were Lejeune or something like that. You know that when you get a guy fresh out of basic or boot, and you can just tell, like, this guy came from a small town where maybe the graduating class was like 40 or 50 people, so there wasn't a lot of girls to go around, and everybody knew everybody's business. So this guy never got laid. Maybe he never even kissed a girl. Now, all of a sudden, he goes out to the bar, and the first slam hog that gives him any sort of attention has a ring on her finger 3 weeks later. That happens all the time in the military. Dudes, yeah, military bunnies are gross. Yes, they are. They are disgusting. The ones, we actually had a girl. She had property of the Army, or property of the United States Army, as a tramp stamp. And our guys from Bravo Company ran a train on her. Oh, that was weird times. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Reagan knew. Yo, Reagan was shady as shit, dude. Reagan was hanging out at Bohemian Grove. So I don't understand. Like, Reagan said a lot of good things, but, you got to be critical of him, too. What was he doing hanging out at Bohemian Grove? Plus, he passed the machine gun laws. Big change in fear-mongering after 9/11, yeah. So we have to depend on them. That's all it was. Wait, Dank, were you in 187? As in 187 Infantry Brigade? First Bat 187, is that what you're saying? All right, good show. I'm out. See you later, Justin. Sorry, I'm way behind on these chats. I keep going on rants. Thank you guys for sticking around. I don't even know how many people are still here. Oh, there's 18 people still here. Fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to get heading off in a minute here. What else do we got? Barracks bunnies are the worst. Yeah, Dependopotamus. Oh, God. Dude, we had, my second time I was in Iraq, we had a guy named Mansfield. He talked like he was chewing on his tongue like this. Well, Mansfield, you could just tell this dude definitely didn't get a lot of action from the ladies when he was in high school. So while we were in Iraq from 05 to 06, he started, like, being a pen pal with some infantry guy's cousin. And she ended up being just a beast, just a piece of trash. She wasn't too big. She was probably like 60 pounds overweight. But when they got back, they did what a lot of stupid people, he did what a lot of stupid privates do. He got married to her just so he could move off post and get the BAH. Well, he ended up knocking her up. And she didn't work. She didn't do anything. She couldn't cook for shit. And I ended up living with those guys. I moved into their apartment. And, oh, man, I was gone all the time. I was not trying to stay there and hang out with those two. But that's what, it's dudes that never get any attention from women, man. I'm telling you, the second any woman shows them any sort of attention, it's like, oh, man, I'm in love. I'm thinking about asking this girl to marry me. Like, dude, you just met her 2 weeks ago. What the hell is wrong with you? And guys, anybody that's been in a combat arms unit or anywhere in the military, you've had people warn you, don't do it. Don't mess with these. If you want to bang these girls, that's fine. But don't be getting in relationships with these women. Because they're a lot. It's so easy to tell when they're just looking for that BAH. Because a lot of women want that free ride. They just want to sit on their ass all day and watch TV and sit back and spend your money. It's just, just like in the civilian world. But the difference is there's women, like outside of Fort Campbell, there were women that had the pay charts memorized. They're like, oh, well, you're an E4 with 2.5 years in. Like, they already knew how much money I was making. But yeah, they target guys in the military because they know there's a lot of stupid dudes who are just desperate for, to get their meat wet.